Hi guys, in the second part of the catch game tutorial, we're going to be learning how to make the collectibles spawn normally. So when you load into your Scratch game, there's a couple things that we have to do before we move on to making the collectibles. So first thing we have to do is delete the size variable and make a new variable named size again. But this time, instead of clicking for this sprite only, click for all sprites. Now just put it back where it was before. So set size to 100 here, and then set size to size here. So now we can get started with making our collectibles. So let's go into let's paint a sprite. We're just going to make it simple. A circle, you could zoom it a little bit and just make it in the middle. Then what you want to do is for your first sprite, make this a little bit yellow. This could be gold. So now what we want to do is duplicate this 5 times. So now we have silver, and you can change the color to a little bit of a gray. So let's do that and this. Now we have, this will be bronze, so we can change this into a little bit of a brown color. Then this is going to be the enemy, so we're going to make this black. And then have some spikes. So the way we make spikes is pick out a square, or this more of a rectangle, and then use this point, this one, a selection tool, and then you select one of the dots and delete it. So now you can duplicate this as many times as you want, so that you have your spikes, which you could just resize and put them inside of your enemy. So this is going to be like the enemy that you don't want to collect. It looks kind of bad, but we're going to have to go with it. So we just going to move this over here. Move this over here. Okay, I'm going to extend it a little bit so that it looks more lethal. Okay, so now that I have my good looking spike ball, we can move on to making a big square. So what we have to do for this is going to be called big. We have to make this costume so that the balls can fit off the stage while we're they can. So what we're doing is making a big rectangle so that the balls, the collectibles can fit off the screen and fall down and look like they just, appeared. So they're not gonna be like hanging up in the screen, clinging to the edges. So now let's start coding. So first thing we want to do is click one green flag clicked. We're going to set size. So this is the reason why I wanted set size like the actual size. So in looks, set size to size divided by 3. So if we didn't put for all sprites, we wouldn't be able to do size divided by, not 3, 4. Divided by 4. So now we're going to hide the sprite. So we can name this collectibles. So now we want to forever loop. Then we want to pull out we have to go to my blocks, make a block. We're going to call this spawn. Then we're going to do this run without screen refresh. So under spawn, we want to, first under the forever loop, we want to put spawn. And then under spawn, we want to put big. So let's switch costume to big. Then we want to go to next between negative 180. So you can do pick random. Go to X between negative 180, negative 180, 180. Then we can put this under the X. Then under the Y, you can just put 108. 100. Let's try this. So first, let's switch costume to this. Let's see what a good X or Y would be. 171. So we would change this to 171. So now what we would do is set temp. So we're going to make a new variable called random number. So you can just do RN. You want to make it for the sprite only, and that's very important. If you don't make it for the sprite only, you won't be able to have random spawn. So RN is going to be for collectibles for the sprite only. Then we're going to set RN to pick random between 1 and 60. So now what we want to do is make an if else, if temp or RN is less than 3. Oh, and by the way, RN stands for random number, just so you know. If a random number is less than 3, then we want to set costume to gold. So this is going to be our rarest one. So then we want to make a new variable called type. And we want this to be for the sprite only. Then we set type to gold. So now and you have to type it exactly like that. Because if you don't, you'll have problems later on. So after you set type to gold, in the else, you put another if else. And you know, if RN is greater than 3 and less than 12. So we do and greater than 3 and less than. So I want it to be if it's less than 12 RN. If it's greater than 3, RN is greater than 3, then we want to switch costume to silver. So switch costume to silver. And then we want to set type to silver. So in the, oh no, not an else. So now the next one we're gonna do is put in the if else right here. We're going to make that bronze. So if the type is less than if it's less than greater than 12, if type is greater than 12, temp is greater than 12, RN is greater than 12, we want to and it is less than 40 and less than 40, RN is less than 40, then we want to switch costume to bronze. So switch costume to bronze. Then we want to switch type to bronze. Set type to bronze. So now what we have to do is in the else for this one, we want to set switch costume to enemy. So the else is going to be enemy. So switch costume to enemy. Oh, I didn't name it enemy. So let's switch it to enemy. Then we want to set type to enemy. So set type to enemy. So now we want to do is code what actually happens when the pot touches this. So we're gonna do, one last thing we need to do, create clone of myself. Now we want to do, when I start as clone, we want to show we want to show it first. Then we want to, if type is equal to enemy, then we want it to be a little bit bigger than the rest of them. So we're gonna say set size to size divided by 2.5. Size divided by 2.5. Then and if else, then we're just gonna set size divided by 4. So this is a little bit way too small, so we're gonna just set it to size. And one last thing before we go, we have to put a wait block, so wait seconds block under the spawn block in the forever loop. So, and then we have to do pick random 0.0 to 2.0. So that should do it, so that it randomizes the time in between each spawn. So don't forget to like and subscribe, guys. So bye. See you guys in the next part 3. Just continue spawning.